greeting people. We can use so many different types of greetings, right? But today we are going to be learning the greetings that are pretty neutral. And then after that, we can learn greetings that are specifically towards a certain group of people. Okay, so you don't sound disrespectful or anything. So what I have first, first what I want to do is I want to ask you guys, what kind of greeting would you say to someone when you are trying to just have a conversation with them, when you see them? What is the first thing that you can say? Yes, so you can say hi, you can say hello, right? So hello and hi. And then after that, if you want to continue the conversation and ask them like, oh, how they're doing, what can you say then? Yes, okay. So after you say hello and hi to someone and you want to continue the conversation, what you can do is you can say, how are you? To ask someone how they're feeling, like, oh, how are you? Or like how they've been. You could say, how are you? Or you could say, how have you been? But with the second greeting, with the how have you been, you're asking someone that you already spoke to before, someone that you already know, okay? So when you're saying how have you been, you're asking someone that you already know. You're not gonna ask a stranger, oh, how have you been? Because you've never met them before. So when you are talking to someone that you didn't know yet, or just neutrally, you can use this with people you don't know, with people older, younger, the same age as you. How are you? Okay? How are you is for everyone. So when you're saying, hello, how are you? You can ask that to anyone. But if you're asking someone, oh, how have you been? You're talking to someone that has already, that you have already spoken to, not a stranger, okay? So how have you been is only for people you know. Okay? So the ones that are neutral, the ones that you can use for a wide spread of people is hello, how are you, and hi. Okay? And then after that, how do they reply? How can they reply to what you're asking them? Or how can you reply to them if they asked you, how are you? Yeah, you can tell them like, I am good. So you could say, I am good. Or if you're feeling amazing that day, you could say, I am amazing. I feel amazing, or I'm fine, or I'm good. Just whichever one fits how you feel, that's totally fine. But we're just going to go with I am good, okay? So that's saying you're good, and you can use that for everyone. You can use that when you're talking to anyone. If they're asking you, how are you? You can say, I'm good. Now, after you say I'm good, you can ask them back, or they can ask you back, like, I'm good, how are you? So you're gonna ask them back, or they can ask you back. All right, so how are you? All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna end this conversation. So we could just say, see you later, or we could say, see you next time, or it was great talking to you, or it was great catching up to you. But the thing is, you can say, like I said, you can say a whole bunch of different things, right? But we're just gonna go with the basics, and we're gonna use the phrases that you can use on anyone, so that's easier to manage a little. Before we start talking about, all the different greetings I could use that you're only allowed to use for a certain group of people. So someone can say hello or hi, and then they'll be like, how are you? And they'll be like, I'm good, how are you? And then they can say back, good, or they can say however they're feeling back to you, okay? And then if we're ending this conversation, you could just say, I'll see you later, as in you'll see them next time. This is not a stranger, so if you're talking to a stranger, you're not gonna say, I'll see you later, okay? But if you're talking to people you know, you can say, see you later. Or you could say, goodbye. And nice talking to you. it's always great to have someone say like, oh, it's nice talking to you, because then it shows that, you know, they're happy with the conversation that you just had. So I added that to the goodbye. Typically you could just say goodbye, but you can also say goodbye, nice to see you, or nice talking to you. Okay, so let's just go over that one more time. We have the typical hello, hi, and then the other person can ask back, how are you? And then you could say, I'm good, how are you? And then the person next to you could say, good. And then you could say, it was nice talking to you, goodbye. Or you could, and then they could say, bye, you know? So that's how a typical conversation happens, or that's what usually is said in the conversations where you're just greeting someone and you're, you know, just greeting them. So yeah. So that's what you do when this is in general, when you're talking to anyone, whether it's strangers, whether it's people you know, whether it's people that are older, younger, or the same age as you. That's what you can use, okay? And then now we're gonna go over the people that are older than you.